Sup nerds, welcome to the Omni4Game podcast. I am Sean, and I am joined with Chris and Brandon as always.
Alright guys, today's Omni4Game recap. As always, we go over our locals and how we did. Next topic after that is we try to define what makes a good opening hand. After that, we talk about the Nats and why their location is kind of dumb. We talk about why an online client would be very important for this game. We answer the questions as always. And then at the very end, it's pizza time. We talk about pizza. So if you guys like this stuff, make sure you stick around. Catch us next week. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, see you next time.
A locals recap.
Locals this week, another pretty dire week. Good old Sean didn't even show up. Too bad. He was a little sick. He wasn't feeling great. So no Sean this week. We again only had 5 people because everybody's all out of town doing all sorts of holiday stuff. So we did another round robin, and this one went pretty well. My first matchup was against Caleb, the good boy, the goodest of boys. He was running Chris's D Brigade deck, and because I knew he was playing Chris's D Brigade deck, I knew he has no options in security, so I could basically just go balls out. It was great. Unfortunately, I did lose that match, so Caleb did end up getting me. I ultimately lost it myself.
Sounds like it.
As I do. Yeah, as I do. It's the first game of the night, or first match of the night. I'm always just going to lose
this
it
excuse
somehow.
again?
Yeah. But basically, I can even remember the play that lost me the game, because I was doing something really step reliant. I had to pull my AG out from underneath my stack and then put it under a different stack by abusing the end of turn effect. But I skipped over it because I was doing Helluger's effect. I finished resolving it and then moved on to something else without pulling the AG out from underneath the fin.
No, I remember what you did. You attacked with that Finralugamon, but you needed you needed it because it was your only blocker. Yeah, you needed it unsuspended.
If I would have done my play optimally, that AG would have been underneath the other stack, which would have been a Chimera. Well, it would have been linked before it was a Chimera, but it would have been a Chimera that would have turned into a Finraluga that would have had Retal and blocker, and it would have given Caleb 4 memory, 3 plus its Satsuki, with nothing on the board and 1 body and raising. So I would have lost irregardless if he only had Numamon and Satsuki in hand. I would have lost either way. But that was the only way I could have potentially not lost, was to not fumble.
Do you know if he had that in his hand?
I did not. I didn't ask. I didn't want to ruin my brain even more. I was already beating myself up over the misplay.
I'm sure.
Round 2 was the bye. Round 3, another loss. Chris got me that game with Machine Dramon. I'll let him talk about that. Match, I guess technically 4, was against Mel, Bloomlord. That went 2-0, my favor, real quick. Because that deck basically, it takes too long to set up. And essentially I was just able to OTK, really, really easily. It was one of those situations where they were like, oh man, if only you would have hit 2 Samadhi Santis out of my security, I'd have been safe.
That was funny.
Did that actually get said?
Yeah,
yes.
Mel said that, yeah.
And then I just looked at him and I was like, 2 Chimeramons in hand, I don't think that would have helped you.
If only you didn't show up, Brandon.
I know. I got hit real bad with that. So, yeah, I ended up getting that one 2-0. Pretty easy game. Almost the exact same thing happened the next game against Solar. Although Solar put up a much bigger fight playing Hunters. That one was he actually put me on a clock immediately by basically setting up Superior Mode turn 2. So he was basically putting up double check,
I hate to interrupt you, Brandon. I know it's my passion coming out, but we need to. Sean, here's a ruling. Okay, this is the thing me and Brandon were talking about at Locals Friday. So Brandon was playing Lugamon, obviously, and Solar had tucked Fenrilugamon underneath AG.
Mm-hmm.
So when Brandon would mind link to something, would that Fenrilugamon come with it, or would it get trashed?
I think it comes with it.
That's what we assumed.
Okay,
it's just the way mind link is written.
Yeah, that's how we played it. If you guys know for sure in the comments, or maybe we're getting it wrong, let us know. But it was something we were talking. I assumed that it would come with it as well because it's tucked underneath it. I don't know.
I mean, it's like if you have a hybrid, like it's just gonna stay there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like there's probably.
I mean, I'm sure it's come up.
It's probably in the Q&A.
Because there would probably be advantages where if he was to mind link it, right, the Fenrilugamon goes to the trash now. Now it's in the trash.
Yeah, he'd 100%
you
prefer it to go to the trash.
Yeah.
Right. So we played it as though it stayed underneath it. Okay. I just remembered that, Brandon. Go ahead, continue.
Well, hold on, I'm actually pulling out the physical card. Place this tamer as the Digimon's bottom Digivolution card if there are no tamers in its Digivolution cards. See, the way it was saying place this tamer, I wasn't sure if that brought everything with it.
Right. It's not in the Q&A because why would it be?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm not sure because that's a new
keyword.
Yeah, it's a new keyword interaction, so I'm not sure if it intends to keep it intends to take the entire stack or not.
Yeah.
And it's not in the Q&A because
why would it be?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Solar put me on a clock pretty quick, especially because they were setting up a Watchmaker, trying to give it security check +1, which if they have security check +1 with superior mode on the board and you have 2 security, that's just game. Assuming they survived both checks, but they also had jamming, so I was able to bounce back from that, though. Was able to get that match 2-0. It was a good match, all things considered. Like, both games went into superior mode and was trying to, like, aggro the bejesus out of me because they knew they had to. But I ended up getting it. So I ended up in 2nd place, so that was nice. We did get more of the movie promos. So that one person in the comments who said I should try out Uka in my red hybrid, I do now have 2 copies of Uka. So maybe.
I'm curious how well that would go.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on the Koromon, but
yeah, I agree with your logic on the other guy.
Like, with Koro in mind, if you have multiple on the field, you can draw multiple cards. But also, like, what is nice is it doesn't have to be the card that's, like, it doesn't have to be this card that swung at the security to get the draw.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to see some, like, positives. Like, you can promote a hybrid, swing with the hybrid, it checks security, now you get a draw for your level 3. That's cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see benefits to both.
Because the Toko requires you to have a tamer on board, right?
Well, it also requires that Digimon to be deleted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is also super easy to do in that because my opening
requirement.
My opening play is usually play a tamer for free, or search for a tamer, then play it for free, and then draw the card.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So both are pretty easy to set up, but yeah. Anyway, Chris, if you want to talk about your locals.
So I ended up going X1 and getting first this week with Machine Dramon. Like Brandon said, we did the Red Robin thing again, which I actually kind of, the Red Robin. I kind of like that. I like that little format a lot because one, we never went into time. That was really fun. So round 1, I actually lost to Mel 0-2. My only loss on the night. Literally, those are the only 2 games I lost the entire night. Game 1, I remember. I remember my hand. Oh, I thought my hand was really good. I opened up with a level 3, and then like 2 Black Memory Boost, and a Chaos Dramon, and a level 5. So all I really needed was the level 4, and I go, okay, I'm gonna keep this hand because I have 2 Black Memory Boosts. I proceed to bottom deck all my Analog Men. I proceed to then never see a level 4. I have to hard play the level 5 and then go into Chaos Dramon, and it's just a slow death from there because he's playing Bloom Lord. So he just slowly sets up on me and just beats me.
Are you playing the training cards?
No, I just play Black Memory Boost. I know.
I play training cards.
Yeah.
I like the black. Okay, so I see both. I know. I like the Black Memory Boost because it gives me the 2 memory to where I can, make plays like hard dropping the machine amount if I have to. Right. So it's like I see both. Like it's like, okay, I want to be able to get my Analog Man, but sometimes the 2 memory. So I'm gonna test them both out. Like I'm probably next week. I'll probably try the black training or the training cards. But I was sick all last week, so I didn't swap out any cards. I just didn't even mess with anything.
Nice.
That's why Caleb didn't have any of the option cards in Commandramon because I didn't swap them out.
The same decks.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, I warned Caleb beforehand. I said, "Hey, listen, I didn't make any changes to this. You don't have the option card, nothing." He's like, "I don't care. I want to play it." So I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
So then
for him.
game 2. Again, thought my hand was really good. I had another Black Memory in my hand, a level 3, and then it just proceeded to fall apart. He just
same deal.
I eventually got a Chaos Dramon on the board, and then he proceeded
underneath it.
No Machine Dramon underneath it. He proceeded to Bloom Lord, not Bloom Lord.
Hydrosi?
Rosemont.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Rosemont burst mode it, suspending it, and then he just killed me from there. Because then it stayed suspended, and I just lost. So,
yeah, Mel tried to burst mode me. Managed to get it off, but like, it didn't mean anything because my Fenriluga doesn't have to unsuspend to pop it.
Right.
So it literally meant nothing.
So and then the thing is, I never saw Analog Man either of those games against him, so that really sucked. I was always playing from behind, so I never had a chance to even establish one, and I don't even think I saw one either of those games except for off the Black Memory Boost, which then I was bottom decking them. So then round 2, I end up playing against what I thought was going to be my worst matchup of the night, Solar. He's playing Hunters. It is a literal nightmare when setting out your security, because I'm like, please don't let there be any Analog Mans, because if he checks any of those out, I'm in trouble. I proceeded to both games draw all 4 of them.
Nice.
So they just sat in my hand. Of course, I don't see them at all against Mel, but I see them against my worst matchup where I'm never going to play them. I got kind of lucky against Solar. He did his little hunter stuff, established 2 3-cost tamers super early, and this is where Black Memory Boost comes in handy, in my opinion. I Digivolved into the Mega Dramon because he gave me, or I activated the Black Memory Boost, Digivolved into the Mega Dramon, popped one of the tamers, activated the 0-cost option card, I think, and then Digivolved into Machine Dramon, giving it Blitz and Rush, attacking with it, popping the other tamer. What? No.
You Digivolved or you played Machine Dramon?
No. I think I played it. I can't remember exactly. I cleared off both of his tamers.
I mean, to be fair, this was a few days ago.
Because Heavy Mobile only gives them on-play Blitz.
It gives them on-play Blitz. Ignore that. I think I had enough memory to where... Yeah, I cheated.
Probably gave you like 3 or 4 memory or something.
I think he gave me enough memory to where I was able to delete both 3-cost tamers all attacking at the same time. I can't remember. So anyways, I got lucky with that matchup because I saw Mega Dramon super early enough, game 1. And then game 2, every time he activated like, what was it, the clock, where he does the searching, he was whiffing on all his searches.
Really?
Just whiffing. There was one time I saw him flip like 3 cards and he couldn't pick up any of them. And I hardly see that with Hunters. So I got super lucky in game 2 again, but I also put out a Machine Dramon or Chaos Dramon X Antibody, which was like obviously the MVP of the whole night because that card was putting in absolute work all night.
You know how incredibly lucky we are that Ben never fell in love with hunters?
Yes. Yeah. Because he
played it a good few times, just didn't love the deck.
Exactly. He played it like a few times, but he didn't.
He's just like, yeah, Beelzemon. I'll stick with that.
So I got super lucky with that matchup. I thought it was gonna be my worst one, but I just never. All you have to do is play that matchup once and realize, okay, I can never have a second Digimon out, and don't play your analog man out. So just chill on your one big machine Dramon, or your Chaos Dramon X. And so game 2 again, I activated like a black memory boost super early. One of the first cards I revealed was Mega Dramon, so I added that straight to my hand. Like I'm gonna add that as soon as I can and have it in my stack. So then proceeded to just have like multiple security checks on that Chaos Dramon X antibody, and I was just, I just beat him from there. Round 3 was it you, Brandon, or was the bye? I think it was Brandon, and then I had the round 4 bye. Yeah. So round 3, I brutally massacred Brandon. I beat him to a bloody pulp. Our game lasted all maybe 10 minutes,
if that.
He was really helpful in attacking me super early on in the game and establishing an analog man for me.
Yeah.
That was really nice of him.
Help. Yeah.
I promoted my level 5 out of raising Digivolved into. Is it which?
Well, you had starter deck 15 Greymon.
Yep.
You promoted that, went into Machine Dramon, went into Chaos, went into Chaos X, swung for 2 checks. It lives because of course it does. I spend the next turn setting up, so my turn was basically forfeit because I'm having to play my tamers and stuff. This is only like my second turn of going. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry. You also attacked me for 2 security checks on your second turn.
No. Anyway. So then the following turn, he goes, okay, cool. Let me tuck another security check underneath. Swings for the next 3 security. Activates the option card. Swings for game. With a different stack. Okay? Yep. He then proceeds to do the exact same thing game 2. Literally turn like 3. Turn 3 like both games. Physically could not, like, there was nothing I could have done. High rolled to oblivion, because I literally game 3, I wish there was game 3. Game 2, I literally told him, just show me the option card. Because, like, I knew.
It's like when people are fumbling with their tamers, I'm like, just show me the hybrid, dude. You don't have to go through the motion.
It's like you have a level 6 that's red or blue on the field, and I have 0 security, just show me the Blitz Omni. Just do it.
So, yeah. That was really fun. For me.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. I like the addition of that, the starter deck, Metal Greymon. It's just like an extra security check. Like, it just can make the deck a little bit more aggressive. That plus, I think it was that, the Volcanic Dramon, and then, so that's where I was getting all 3 of its checks from. So,
both games.
Is that from both games? Ragna's starter deck?
I think so. The red-black one?
Yeah.
I think all of my cards are red-black except for one card, and that's BT1 Metal Greymon.
You still play that?
The extra 3000 DP, sometimes it can come up.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Swing over something beefy.
I think that's one of the first cards I would take out if I wanted to play like an extra Mega Dramon or something like that. Because the only level 5s I play multiples of, which eventually we're gonna get the deck profile hopefully this Friday, is Mega Dramon and the BT8 Metal Greymon, the one that allows you to attack Digimon.
That's red-black. Or black-red, actually.
Is that BT8?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Those are the only 2 I play multiples of because those are like 2 of your most important ones, in my opinion, obviously. The Mega Dramon can come in and out based on, like, the meta.
Matchups in your locals.
How popular Hunters is.
Yeah, hunters, the analog youths, like all that stuff, because it doesn't really come up too much. Like, I mean, I guess it does against Commandramon because
They can't grab it
Satsuki
from
can't.
its trash.
Yeah, but with AG, you just you
Yeah.
grab it out for free, so it's like. But I'm popping your analog youths at that point, so
Yeah.
that's so useful there. So then I get to buy round 4, and then round 5 I played against Caleb, and it was it. I don't want to say it wasn't competitive, but I just wait for him to bring up, and it was also his first time playing the deck, so it was kind of like I don't know if he knew everything, like how he was making some smart plays, like he would put his Commander Mon back on the top of his deck with the missing Mon, and then like play them out. So it was like he was playing the deck,
He
but
wasn't playing against your deck though.
yeah, it was more of like a maybe he just didn't think, because I would just wait for him to bring up his level 5
He wasn't
Digivolve
he
into
wasn't thinking about playing against your deck.
yeah, and I go Chaos Dramon, Digivolve. None of them have blocker, and I'm attacking you for game now. It's just like he thought that once he just established that the Brigadier,
Brigade
yeah,
Dramon.
the Great Dramon with all that he was just safe, and I'm just like, you're
Well,
never safe.
We talked about this. He's
Yes.
oblivious to what you are doing and what you're capable of.
Yeah.
He's just doing what his deck's supposed to do.
But I also feel like if I would have given him an optimal deck where with the changes I wanted to make with the option card, he would have had he would have stood a better chance, because then he could de-digivolve my Chaos Dramon.
Yes.
Or my Chaos X, so
DCD Bomb would have put in work.
yes. One card that didn't put in any work at all this week was EX1 Machine Dramon. Never even saw play.
Well,
it never got played because, I mean, I guess technically it did against Brandon, because that's the Machine Dramon I would have played out.
Yeah.
But other than that, like
any Machine Dramon at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think the more important Machine Dramon is the BT. Is it BT11? The Reveal 5?
Yeah, it's BT11.
Yeah, I think so.
That one is like a lifesaver, because being able to go into that and then straight into a Chaos Dramon, you're seeing 10 cards off the top of your deck and they're trashing them.
Yep.
You're adding a card or you're tucking one into the stack, like triggering off your Dorimons or your Dorumons or both. It's like that's the real MVP in my opinion. That's what I'm always wanting to see.
Yeah, people only play the EX1 for the Shine matchup. And if Shine's not going to be played, then you don't really have a reason to put it in.
Yeah.
Besides
I still like it for I still like it for the surprise. I'm going to let this Chaos die. Now it's my turn. Machine Dramon play, so.
It's not your turn anymore. What?
I ended up going X1. Played really well outside the Mel matchup. Me and Mel had completely opposite nights where I started off 0-2. Mel ended up winning his first 2 rounds and then proceeded to get 0-2 the rest of the night. And I proceeded to 2-0 everyone from there. So it was a lot of fun. Machine Dramon put in work. It was super consistent for me all night outside of like round 1. But I think that can like put us right into our first topic, because I wanted to talk about what defines a good opening hand. So, in my opinion, I thought, because I was going first, when I saw that hand, I thought it was a really good opening hand. I have my level 3, so I can immediately hatch, Digivolve, draw a card, so I'm seeing more cards. And then I have Black Memory Boost. Sure, I'm setting him to 3, but whatever, I'm seeing 4 cards. I'm going to dig a little bit more further into my deck, get a piece I might need. I proceeded to not be able to play.
The rest of the game.
The rest of the game. I ended up having a hard play in my level 5 just to start doing stuff. So I wanted to talk to you guys. What do you guys consider good opening hands? What defines a good opening hand? Obviously, it's going to depend on if you're going first or you're going second. Obviously, that's like you're going to want different hands for each scenario. It's also going to depend on what color you're playing. You're playing an aggro deck. You're playing like a more control-y deck. Like what do you want to see in your guys' hands? So Sean's got his opinions on his, and then Brand's more of an aggressive player, so he's going to want to see different things. So I want to hear you guys. What you guys got to think? What do you think's a good opening hand? What defines it?
Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Oh yeah, you go ahead. You lead the way.
In my opinion, It is obviously a rookie if it's a deck that requires a stack.
Let's all agree with that. Unless it's like security, well, even security control might want to see a level 3. A level 3 is like guaranteed. You gotta see it, right?
Yeah.
There are only a couple of exceptions that don't mind not seeing a level 3, like hybrids, for example. The hybrid decks, as long as they have a tamer, they don't care.
Yeah.
But a level 3 is basically a necessity.
I'd say another one maybe is like the old school yellow decks with TK. Like there were some times where like I'd want to keep a hand if I had TK in it, because like
you get to look at your second hand.
Gave so much information off of it. You could get your level 3 out of it, but now you know what's in there.
Yeah, TK was like an OG memory boost. You get to look at 5 other cards.
Yep.
What I like is a level 3 ideally, and then the ability to naturally pass the turn back to my opponent. So like a 3, 4, and a 5 if I'm going second, a 3 and a 4 and a tamer, a 3 and a tamer, like something like that, to where like I am not gonna be forced to hard pass after like I evo into my level 3. Obviously that's different depending on the deck, but that's basically it. Like there's not really,
like, I was going to say something pretty similar. What I'm looking for in an opening hand, again, dependent on first or second, is a playable line. A line of play I can make that is playable. So if I see a 3, a 5, and like a few level 6s, I might end up mulliganing that hand and consider a bad opening hand. Because sure, I saw the level 3, which is like check mark number 1, but if I don't have a follow-up to the level 3, it's a bad opening hand. Like, I don't want to just hard... Like, if it's the only level 3 I have, but if it's a searcher, it's a little more like, ooh, I might be able to keep this because you can hard play it and then get your Scourge on, you know? But I like to have the ability to have more than a 1-card turn. That's kind of what I'm looking for in an opening hand.
Yeah, I think we're on the exact same page.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's more... You don't want to just be like, okay, I have the level 3 Digivolve, and then you're like, okay, where do I just pass? Because you're losing advantage at that point. Because then what's your opponent do? Hatch, Digivolve, draw. You know, it's like Sean said. You want to have like a natural way to be able to like progress the turn.
Like, I actively mulliganed just this Friday, against, I want to say it was Mel, because my opening hand had a level 3. But the rest of the opening hand was like level 5s and no searchers, no tamers. But like, I'd already won game 1, so I could have YOLO'd and kept the opening hand and prayed that I see a level 4 or an analog or like a training card. But I decided to just mulligan it, and I ended up getting a pretty similar hand following that. But the level 3 was actually replaced with Drachmon, which hard playing that actually felt really good in that matchup because he's not going to be able to clear that off my board super quick. So I'm going to get a quick little cheeky check in, and I got to do some searching and trashing. So
yeah, I also think that's another thing is if you've won game 1 and you're going into game 2 and you see your opening hand and you think to yourself, can I be a little bit more greedy with this? Do I think the risk is worth, you know, the potential bad draws or something? You know what I mean? Like, is this hand like, if I see this level 4, if I top deck it or I draw it off of the Digivolution, I just win from here. Is it worth risking the game because you know you're going into a game 3?
I have a really bad habit of when I'm playing this deck, that anytime after the ban hit it, if I see this in my opening hand, I have to keep the hand.
You just keep it
because it's such a good card. Like, it's so broken.
That's okay, Sean. So when you're playing Greymon, any version of Greymon, you're playing Greymon X Antibody, the one of, and you see it in your opening hand. How often are you going to keep that just so you have that in your hand, depending on what's in it?
That actually has no impact on whether or not I would want to keep the hand.
Yeah, I don't think they have that guaranteed like absolutely broken card set to one.
Like
Gray X isn't
Greymon X
broken.
shouldn't be limited. Like it's
okay.
It's cool to see it, but me seeing him opening hand, it might as well be
even back in its heyday.
Well, I mean, you mean back when it was at 4?
Yeah, like right when it got hit to 1. Because it was still pretty strong back then, right? Like obviously now it's been a little.
It is strong, but it's not like game breaking. Like
Aware Garu is game breaking,
especially for like some versions of Greymon Tribal that I've built where I don't even play the option. It doesn't even have protection. It just will let me go up into a level 6 before my opponent thinks I can't. But a lot of times that doesn't matter. What
about in a situation where you're playing Blue Hybrid and you have Ice Wall in hand? What about Ice Wall? Is Ice Wall like a strong enough card where you're like, hey, maybe I want to keep this hand?
Honestly, no. And I've actually considered cutting Ice Wall.
Cutting it?
As much as that perturbs Brandon, because it's just a brick. It doesn't do anything. Like
I don't think you necessarily need it in a deck like Blue Hybrid. I think Blue Hybrid does a good enough job as itself as an engine.
It was the only blue deck I know Sean's played recently that I could like. So okay, then give me a couple cards where you open them in your hand, like specific cards where you're like, I have to keep this hand.
Yeah, Brandon is any Gabumon card that's at 1.
Yeah, okay, which is gonna be multiple. Very soon.
All of those cards.
So I was gonna say a good example is unrestricted Jesmon. If you saw the Savior in your hand, that's probably something you're keeping.
Yeah, BT6 Jesmon assuming you had like enough of a line. Having
to get into there.
Yeah, seeing the Savior in your hand when you're only playing 4 level 4 or 4 level 5s. Yep. I would agree with that. Like that would be something that would make me want to keep it.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean? Lord Nightmon, anything like that in your opening hand where you're like, okay, I have to keep this hand?
BT5.
Just any card, like any time you've played where you're like, I have to. If I see this in my opening hand, my odds of winning go up by like a good percent.
I'm just scrolling through the limited list. Seeing if there's anything that jogs my memory.
I mean, it's literally like a green player seeing HPD opening hand.
I feel like, if I played a decks that had access to HPD would be on that list of like, dang, I maybe I shouldn't keep this, but this card is the most broken card in the game that's still at 1.
Yeah, it's like when you're playing. It's like when you're playing Alter S, and your hand's kind of garbo, but you have the Air of Dragons and the ability to use it with a red source. It's like, okay, this doesn't feel as bad.
Okay, so we could say there's like a combination of cards that you're like, okay, I want to keep this. Like combination would be like a level 3 and a level 4, or a level 3 plus
and a level 3 X antibody.
Yeah, combos are definitely things that I would consider keeping. Because of how the game works, any singular one card is not gonna like break the game. Besides like a very small handful of them.
I think the Wergaru is definitely on that list. With how the deck is trending later, that card was Jesus.
I would say it could even be matchup reliant. Where for example, you're playing a Greymon and you're playing against Hunters. In your opening hand, you open up not Gaia Force,
Hades Force.
Hades Force, and maybe you double think like, hey, maybe I keep this hand because if he establishes, I have an answer to it, and I don't have to hope to see it.
That is true. That will encourage me to keep certain hands versus Hunters.
Right.
But if I don't have like
a playable line,
if I still don't have a playable line,
weigh it.
The thing is, against that deck, you can't afford to like open slow, because if they open quickly, they'll kill you before you get up to what you need to get up to.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you could just hard play a level 5 and tell them to deal with it.
Sometimes they do though. Omni Shoutmon can delete pretty high DP thresholds.
I know Arrestormon is the scary card in that deck, but Shoutmon will get you. You will get caught by a Shoutmon with your pants down.
Omni Shout.
Omni Shout, yeah. Sorry, yeah, Omni Shout.
Yeah.
Omni Shout will, because it puts in some pressure super early and can delete, like Sean said, like high DP targets.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good card.
Yeah, like people think that the only removal in the deck is superior mode, but that's not the case, unfortunately.
So you guys would think, or defining a good opening hand was some combo of cards that will allow you to progress your game state naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I think it's worth mulliganing. Like, sometimes even if you see the level 3, if you don't have a level 4, or you don't have a tamer, you don't have anything to follow it up, like, it's worth mulliganing it sometimes.
Yeah, I've mulliganed hands like that, especially going first, like knowing I'm not going to see another card.
Mm-hmm.
I've mulliganed hands like that where I have a 3, but like the rest of my hand is like level 6s.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, another thing is if you're playing against Luga and you see your one of Merciful mode, it's kind of tempting to keep that hand just so you have the Merciful mode on dock ready. Because it's not guaranteed you're going to see that Merciful mode.
Yeah, I would agree with that if I were bold enough to just play one Merciful in a deck.
Yeah, I'm playing one of, but yeah, that's just
And
me.
like we said earlier too, it might also depend if you won game 1 going into game 2.
Yeah,
maybe you can choose to be a little bit more stingy and knowing, hey, this one card could just win me the whole game, and if I can get up to it with the cards in my hand, I could win from here. So it's like you can play a little bit differently. Like now, game 2, if you've lost game 1, you're gonna want to have the most optimal hand. So maybe then you're just like, hey, I've got to maybe mulligan for the next best 5 cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done that with a Wargrey OTK where I've had a playable line, but I lost game 1 and I'm playing against like something like Red Hybrid, for example, and I know that I basically need to kill them super quick or I'm just gonna die. So I've mulliganed hands like that where I'm like trying to high roll them. Like win or lose, like I'm trying to high roll them, so I have to mulligan hands like that.
Right.
Fair.
Is there a hyphen in person? Is that hyphenated in person?
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna stick one in there. Better locations for in-person tournaments. This includes nationals, which for the second consecutive year is in Los Angeles, which is
objectively bad
across the country from a very large percentage of the Digimon player base,
and in one of the most expensive places to ever stay.
Yeah, to travel to / stay. It would be very nice if they picked a location more central to the continental U.S. so people on the East Coast didn't have to spend $2,000 to $3,000 to go over there and then stay. Considering the price support we have for the game is not up to snuff for travel expenses like that.
Prizes.
Yeah, like Ben is going to Nats.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. But if I had like gotten my like 2-round buy and signed up, I probably still wouldn't have gone because I just like I don't have $2,000 to $3,000 to spend on essentially like a weekend vacation where I get to play cards for a little bit. Like
if it was, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. The only thing that I was gonna say was you would have to come in like top 3, I think, in order to like be able to sell the prize cards for like a profit after like taking out your travel expenses. And
assuming there's a market to buy that stuff too.
Yeah, assuming you can find the very few people that are willing to spend that much money on Digimon cards. And it's like over 1,000 person tournament. So like you're even if you're extremely good, like that's still not good odds to place that well because there is a lot of RNG.
Do you think it would be beneficial to have multiple events like Nats running in tandem and then doing like, you know, like a East Coast Nats, a West Coast Nats?
That's an interesting thought, but no, I don't think that's a good thing.
Yeah, because I was thinking like if the East and the West Coast finalists,
a site,
they could just do like a 1v1 See who the North American champ is.
1v1 me.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
the East Side.
The only thing I could think of is like if you made it like a vacation thing, like where you took like the wife or something out there to LA and you guys like made it a week of it, you know.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
literally
just
the only
like,
way to justify it.
yeah,
Yep.
it's the only way to justify it. I think that
investment.
so I agree with something I heard a long time ago when COVID happened. It was a good thing and a bad thing for obvious reasons. But when it came to work, and whatnot, because then everyone started being able to work from home because people realized, hey, we don't have to rent out these office buildings and pay for this because people can just work from home and use their cameras or they can use Discord, etc., all this like online stuff. And it's the same with card games now. Now it's more online events than it is in person events, and you lose that. Well, I mean, some things, you know, I don't mind losing, like the body smell and the odor, you know, the
You look over, the guy's butt cracks hanging out.
yeah,
I don't
you
think
know, so it's
Digimon
like,
has like a huge BO
no,
issue that
no,
I've noticed.
it's just,
Yeah, when we went
it's
to
just,
the Atlanta, it was actually quite nice.
yeah, I don't
yeah,
recall anyone stanking.
it's just, you know how it is with card game
Oh,
players and
yeah,
stuff
for
like that. It's
sure.
just the running joke, but so yeah, you lose that kind of in person. It was so much
That
fun.
tactile feel.
It was so much fun when we went to Atlanta. You know, we got to go in there, but even though I was getting my butt kicked all day, I was still having fun. I was raging because I'm losing, but we got to you know, we got to go out to Atlanta. We drove up there. You know, like just the whole experience is, and you lose that with online tournaments.
Mhm.
Now you're also losing it when you choose to hold Nats all the way on one side of the country.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're literally losing half the country that just, for one, just don't have the money to travel out there.
Yeah, like that. It's the extreme. I would not expect the majority of people that played this game to have $2,000 to $3,000 to just travel to nationals.
Yeah. Just to go.
And even the people that have that money probably don't want to spend it on traveling to nationals.
How central is Phoenix, Arizona? Where's Arizona at? I'm trying to think.
It's still over. It's like mountain time.
You're still sitting on the.
It's still too west.
I mean, it's probably better expense wise to travel to than Los Angeles, California.
Just trying to think. I'm trying to think of like a nice new place that people are going to, like Houston. Like Houston's like, you know, growing. Phoenix is growing.
Texas is a bad shout. I mean, at least it's more central.
I think it would depend on how deep you went into Texas. If it was like upper Texas, maybe, but like you start going deep southern Texas, like that's pretty far for some people too.
I mean, I think the primary issue with it being in Los Angeles isn't actually that it's on the West Coast. It's that it's in like one of the most expensive places to travel to and stay.
Period. Okay.
Yeah. So like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like completely centralized. If it were just a place that people could travel to relatively cheaply and stay relatively cheaply, but obviously it would need to move out of California for that to be the case. I don't think it would be. I don't know. Like Phoenix probably wouldn't be that bad, but I'm not sure. I haven't like looked at flights.
I hate to sound biased here, but like Florida would be like, and again. That's where but it's tax free. It's a tax free state. You know, it'd be relatively cheap to stay here. We have New Orleans over here. You know,
we have like, New Orleans in Florida.
We have New Orleans. It's close to Florida.
It's 2 states over technically.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours.
Yeah, we may live like 2 hours away from NOLA, but it's literally 2 states away. I think if they were to do Florida, it would probably be in Miami. So, like, even for us, that would be a trek, which it would still be better than being in LA.
Still be a better trek, yeah.
It would suck, though.
I'm just being biased. Again, I'm being biased here, you know.
Yeah,
like,
Jacksonville would be nice.
I was going to say something like a Dallas, maybe. I mean, if you're going to go to Texas, that's not the worst one to be in.
I'll play a Digimon tournament in Dallas. You know, it'll be the first world championship we bring there in how long?
Oh my God, we're not starting this. We're not starting the football talk. We're not doing it. Look at me. We're
not doing 30-ish years.
I think it's been longer than that, Sean.
I think it's
been almost like
I think they won.
I think it's been almost 50.
The Cowboys.
Yeah, like the 80s were the last time they won anything,
Nah,
right?
dude, they won 3 in the 90s.
In the 90s? Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair, the 90s was 30 years ago.
Like
Yeah, okay.
the last one they won, I think it was like 93. No, I think it was like 96 actually, because I think they beat the Steelers in like their last one that they won.
All right, so almost 30 years. Boom. We'll bring a world championship back, Jerry. Don't worry.
Yeah, listen, all right. Before this podcast started, I had to sit here and listen to these two talk about football for, I swear to God, like 30 minutes.
It wasn't
They were
that
just
long.
going. It felt that long.
I'm sure it felt like eternity for you.
You got a Steelers.
Scrolling, just...
Oh, am I pointing at Sean right now? On y'all's
on my
screen?
screen now.
Not on my screen.
Okay, so now am I?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sean's a Steelers fan and I'm a Ravens fan, so there's mutual hatred here for just that.
Yeah.
And respect, though. It's a respect thing, though. We know when we get matched up and we play every year, hey, it's a respect thing. I don't hate the Steelers like I hate the Bengals and Browns. I respect the Steelers.
That's true.
Anyway.
The Browns is the Browns.
Any other venues you guys can think of?
I mean, I would have to like look at flights and stuff and like hotel expenses to really like have a good idea of a good location. But basically, that's how I would be approaching it, is like, what's the cheapest place for everyone to travel to? I think avoiding a large city, as weird as that sounds, is probably the best thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, you're not going to have as many people that are just like, oh, it's in walking distance from my house. Because I'm sure that's a lot of people that are over in California are like, Nats is like next door. Let's go.
Let's go.
I mean, I wouldn't be complaining if Nats was across the street from us either. But at the same time, like, it's kind of unfair to, I would say, the majority of the player base to have it like in a place like that.
They have to. It has to be a place like a convention center where they can hold the amount of people they want to be able to hold.
Mm-hmm. So North Carolina is pretty cheap to travel to. That's not a bad one.
It's also a pretty city.
Yeah. I'm gonna go there later in the year.
I'd actually like North Carolina. We have relatives that live over there, so we could probably stay with them.
Yeah, my wife and we have to go to a wedding up there later in the year, so be visiting that again. First time we were up there, we went to like this like beach area. That was really fun.
How was that ferry ride, Brandon?
Oh, that was in Virginia.
Oh.
The ferry ride
Same
was
thing.
okay. Everybody hyped it up. It was boring.
It's a boat.
Yeah, it's a boat, and you sit in your car. I mean, you can get out of your car.
But your car is on the boat.
Your car is floating.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Who was hyping up a ferry ride?
Oh, literally everybody. Oh, man, you ever been on the ferry?
The locals? The locals were hyping up the ferry?
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
They must have gotten it recently or something for them to be like, dude, it's the best thing.
Yeah, but if I lived there, right, and no one had been it, I'd be like, I know how boring this thing is. I'm going to hype it up.
I will tell you one thing. There was one particular ferry ride, because we had to take this ferry like 9 times throughout this week.
Bruh, that means they do too. They definitely were trolling you.
100%. They had to have been. I mean, they're my in-laws. Like, come on. So anyway, there was one exciting, and I put that in quotations, story from the ferry. It was okay. So we were on the ferry, and like 2 car spaces ahead of us was like a little bus filled with mentally disabled people. I don't know the PC way to say that.
I think that's the PC way of saying that.
Okay, I'm trying not to get canceled here.
You better watch yourself. PC principal's listening.
Yeah, they were all having like the greatest time. It was fantastic. Like they brought popcorn to throw at like the seagulls and stuff like that. And I have a soft spot for people like that because
was it a specific brand or flavor of mentally disabled people? Because I have a suspicion.
I don't know. Probably a mix of a bunch of them. I'm not privy to their medical conditions.
Well, there's a certain.
Was I supposed to just go up to them and be like, "What kind of?"
The one I'm thinking of,
listen.
the one I'm thinking of, you would be able to tell. So I guess it's not the case.
Okay, I just saw the Special Olympics clip from South Park where
No.
Cartman is signing up.
Oh my
and
god!
And he thinks he's gonna do good.
Dude, he gets thrashed.
The lady asks his mom, "What's his disability?" And she's like, "I don't know." And then like looks at Cartman and is like, "What's your disability?" And he just.
Anyway, so they were all having a really good time. They were all jamming. They're enjoying the boat. They're looking at the water and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess one of them felt left out because they were still in the bus, and they were all out of stuff to throw at the birds. And oh my god, I felt so bad for this person. But they got off the bus, took off their shoe, and threw the shoe off the boat into the water. And I'm not gonna lie, I laughed. I laughed a lot.
Did they enjoy it?
Yeah, dude, they were having such a good time. They just want to throw things at the birds, you know?
But 10 minutes later, when you only got one shoe and you step in some kind of puddle, you're gonna be real upset.
I mean, we would. We don't know how that person would feel about it.
The worst part was the second shoe went later.
I mean, at that point, you might as well. Like, what are you saving one shoe for?
Yeah,
get rid of it.
Like, the nice lady who was, watching all of them was like, "Oh my god, what happened to your shoes?" And I could hear it. Oh my god!
Throw them at the birds, idiot. Duh.
It was heartwarming and hilarious because they were just enjoying their time so much, and then all of a sudden you see one of them just yeeting their shoes off the boat.
Sounds like they had a good time.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, so we all agree.
Part of that ferry.
We need.
We were just talking about locations.
More. We need more.
How did we get there?
Yeah.
More ferry rides. We need more in-person events, and we need better locations, more accessible locations.
Hear me out. Let's do Digimon Nats the cruise. Let's do a cruise.
I think.
I would be willing to spend a few $1,000s if it meant I was on a cruise.
I definitely do not have a crippling fear of open water. That is definitely not.
Okay, yeah.
Sean, cruises are lit. Did you never even know you're on the water?
Sean, what would you rather? Where would you rather be stuck? Okay, middle of a desert or middle of the ocean?
Am I just floating in the ocean?
Yep.
Yeah, you're just floating.
Open water for miles. You can't see anything.
Open water or the desert?
The desert, obviously.
Okay, that's we all agree on that. Yeah.
Okay. No. Keep me out of the water. Don't put me there.
If one of them I'm on a cruise and the other one I'm in like a hotel, I would rather be in the water.
Yeah, in the water.
Cruises are literally floating buffets.
I'll say this: you can keep it.
No, for you, everything is like
that's the Titanic.
That was over 100 years ago, dude. Get over it.
You can keep Nats in LA. If you want to do that, but then have at least multiple Nats. At least have like maybe two or three a year in different locations. So like players can choose or plan it out better. Like, hey, I can try and get this one, or I can try and get this one. Because
knowing our luck though, they'd be like, all right, Seattle.
Yeah, they'd keep it on the West Coast. I don't know how they would get the logistics of that. Like.
At least two, right? Have one. You could have one over there and then one over here.
Like I'm telling you, just do an East and a West Coast. Like, we're a big enough territory. Just do it.
But how do you then determine who goes to Worlds? Like, that means you'd have to have
one.
I think it's not just the first place that comes.
Yeah, you take the top.
Take all the top people, pay for their travel.
Yeah,
because they are your best players, and send them to a location.
Okay, so say they're taking the top 20 from this Nats, right? I'm just guessing the number. I don't know what the actual number is.
I think it's only a few people.
Be like 16.
Okay, well,
maybe.
Okay, let's say top 16. They were taking the top 16.
I think it's
right?
only like 3 people or something like that.
Okay, whatever. We're picking whatever here. Okay, you just take that number, you cut it in half, and then you just have the other half come from this Nats, and you bring them together.
We're all in this together.
It's either that or you hold it more central, more in
Location.
line in America. More accessible location.
I mean, that probably is the fairest way to do it. As far
It's better
as
than doing it
traveling.
online.
I mean, I would rather
That
be
or you
online
got-
than be in LA and LA
Yeah,
alone.
I was gonna say it's either that or do it online, but I want more in-person events, and I get why they don't do it because
Expensive.
it's cost efficient. Yeah,
I mean,
you
they're
save money.
printing thousands upon thousands of dollars with online events.
And then making a new card game out of that money that we're giving them.
We're funding. Yeah.
I don't know how much of that money goes back to Bandai. I think a large portion of it goes to the TO.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly it's not going to Bandai because their research and development team is in shambles.
Non-existent.
What research and development team?
Exactly.
Okay, so Brandon, what was your topic? What?
So
How
there's
did we?
a reason I
How did
brought
we
this up.
ferry? How did we ferry over to yours, Brandon?
Yeah, so the reason I brought up online is because I want to talk about the importance of having an official online client. And the reason I think it's important is because online tournaments would actually be viable to go through this online client. If it was an official online client and it actively worked, that's a big problem. If it didn't, you don't want it to come out buggy. Probably would, though, let's be honest.
Most likely, based on the tournament app that we have.
Yeah, exactly. God, just signing up for a tournament with that thing is a pain in the butt. But having an official online sim for us to play on would not only make the game more accessible, but it would also make the game more fair, I guess maybe is the correct way to put it, for playing in an online tournament, because there's literally 0% chance of being cheated on an online sim versus this dude just pulled a whole extra hand out of his hat.
I will say the chances go down drastically, but there's still a non-0% chance you're being cheated, because especially with a Bandai made client, I'm sure there's going to be gaps in the security where people could cheat it.
I was going to say there are possibilities of people exploiting the client, I found out if I do this it'll crash my opponent.
I can see my opponent's hand.
Yeah, something stupid like that. But also it would have to be automated, the client, you play a card, it pays the memory for you. You don't have to move it yourself, because the more of that stuff you're getting rid of, the more, the less chances of you being cheated. Because
that would get rid of accidental soft cheating and stuff.
Yeah, because there have been a few times where, even if you go back and watch Sean and Ben's gameplays, Ben will be like, "Did I draw from my card? Did I do this? Did I activate this trigger? Did I do this?" And it's stuff like that. If it was automated, you didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, when he says it, I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm only half paying attention to what you're doing.
It's your turn, therefore I'm not paying attention.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here. Okay, so two things.
Keanu Reeves.
Yep. One, we will never get an online client because they can't make profit off of it.
Yeah, you could. Easy.
No. Okay. Do you want to know why?
This is what you do. This is what you do.
You want to know why Konami tried so hard to shut down all the Sims and all of that? Because guess what? They weren't making money off of it. Even if they were.
This is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. This is
they won't invest.
You have to do it.
They won't invest money into it.
You have to have an incentive to buy the physical media. So, if you're playing in an online tournament, you have to have shown the deck profile. You have to own the cards. Or, hear me out, you could do it like Pokemon does and put the QR codes in the packs.
I always thought that was cool.
I don't like that because it means you can't register cards that you traded for.
You're saying you're saying that you want to make this more accessible, but now you're hindering that accessibility by saying you have to own the cards first.
Specifically, if you want to be in a big online tournament.
If
you're going for Nats, especially if you're going to be playing Nats and you have to go in later into an in-person tournament, because let's say you topped and you got an invite, you would have to show, like, you'd have to have proof that this is your deck.
I think Brandon's right in the context where they use their official client for official events, because if they do that and they don't force you to like provide proof that you have the physical cards, what incentive do you have to ever buy the product?
Exactly.
But why invest in that when they could just say you use your own cameras and then play with the physical cards that you had to buy? What's saying that they don't just go to their buddies and say, "Hey, give me your deck. I don't own these cards."
I mean, that's no different than borrowing it for a tournament.
Yeah, I was about to say that's literally no different than just borrowing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, what's the point?
The big problem is it's probably
they make no money off of it.
Yeah, someone at some point had to buy the cards that you were taking a picture of or providing proof of ownership of. Whereas if you don't have to ever do that, you literally could just play the game for free forever.
Yeah.
Right. It's just they're never going to do it because they're not going to invest in it. I think there's no profit to be made.
I think they could very easily make a profit off that if they just ran ads on the client.
It's also like a false positive
nothing,
there because
nothing crazy, nothing like Twitch ads or anything like that, but just like just banners.
Oh, players ad timeout. Hold on, players.
No, just like banners and stuff on the website. Like I'm sure they could generate a profit on that.
Yeah, but like that's also just like such a false positive narrative because having people playing the game is going to generate interest in the game.
Yeah, that is true.
Like just because, like, look at Yu-Gi-Oh, for example. Yu-Gi-Oh was already successful, but the invention of online sims that were not run by them did not crash the game.
If anything, I'm sure
I'm not saying I don't agree with online sims. I'm just saying they have no reason to invest money and time into it because they don't see it as making a profit. Because one, they'll assume. Now, hold on. Are you gonna only use this during official events? Are they just gonna make this
and then you're for everybody?
Yeah. Okay, then it would just be an open.
So okay, so again, why would people?
There's just a specific tournament mode where.
Okay, then why
you
would
have to have a physical deck?
It would be the same way we submit our. Oh, never mind. You guys have only played in like one online tournament.
Yeah. No, I've played in 2 or 3.
It'd be the same way you submit your deck list for online tournaments now.
Yeah.
Except for you wouldn't actually be using those cards. You'd just be using the client.
Right.
And then a judge could also have a reference sheet like, hey, this is the deck they're using. Is this a 1-to-1 copy? Like, make sure there's no cheating going on there.
I get that. But I'm saying, though, like, if they created an online sim, why would people... Now, I'm not saying I don't, or I wouldn't. I'm just talking for these people. Mm-hmm. Why would they invest in the money in the cards when they're like, hey, I can just play the sim? That's how they see it. They're a business. That's how they see it. If we create an online sim, then they'll just play these. They won't actually buy the cards.
Those people were never going to buy the cards in the first place.
Right. I agree.
We have people still to this day who have not bought a card for their deck because they don't want to buy the card for their deck.
Right.
It's going to sit there as a backwards card in their sleeve, and they're not going to ever be able to play that in tournament. Those people are always going to be there. But you're looking to get the people who are playing the online sim going, hey, I really like the way this deck feels. Let me buy the cards, bring it to locals.
Yeah.
And that's what you're hoping for. That's what you're hoping for, but there's no way to guarantee or prove that having an online client or sim like that is going to lead to that.
There's also
that's how they see it.
Wouldn't.
Well, that's how stats work. They work both sides. I can't even remember what my second point now is. I just remembered that one.
Sean, what are your thoughts on how they could potentially run an online client to benefit the card game? The physical card game, not just overall.
Yeah. I mean, I think any official online client will boost the physical card game naturally. Because there's still people that probably would be interested in this game if they were able to play it with no financial investment. And like the client is growing, but still most people don't know about that client that we've been using. If there was an official client, it would be like plastered everywhere. And
then They could actually. I think this comes down to more. Bandai doesn't advertise their products very well.
Yeah,
When Digimon first came out, it was advertised all over the place. I saw YouTube ads, everything. When Dragon Ball the card game came out, I saw ads for it all the time. One Piece came out, I barely saw any ads. I don't. Some of these games, Bandai games, I've never even heard of. The thing is, I think this comes down to Bandai doesn't advertise its games very well because they're so all over the place.
I think they're just very poor marketers.
Yes.
Like they need to get a new marketing team for the States.
Like, don't get me wrong, I agree. Like, I think an official Bandai online sim would help build the game, obviously. But to them, they don't see it that way. They only see it as this, oh, if we come out with this, people, that's just how they're going to think. People won't buy the product because they'll just play the online sim, which we know isn't true.
Yeah. Otherwise,
anything,
Yu-Gi-Oh would have died like a decade ago.
Yeah.
Because it brings people in that don't have the cards. They start playing and go, hey, let me look up my local scene, buy some actual cards.
Yep.
That's what we know is going to happen, but to them, they just see it as though, oh, we can't make money off of this.
Yeah, like
that's
Sean
why
was
Yu-Gi-Oh.
saying.
That's why Yu-Gi-Oh never did it. The only time Yu-Gi-Oh did it, guess what they did? They made it a video game and then they made you buy it.
I'd be okay with it being a video game too, honestly.
Yeah.
Put it on the Switch.
They did Duel Links and
what is it called? Duel Links?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Master Duel.
Yeah.
And
like
those are basically online clients.
Yeah.
But guess what they can do on that? They can make money off of it, monetize
microtransactions.
it. Exactly. You want to open up more packs? You're gonna pay us for it.
Yeah.
Duel Links. You want to open up more packs? Pay us for it.
It would be awful if they introduced an official client and like made you pay money.
And then did that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, okay, imagine the client itself is free, right? Let's say the client itself is free and
Duel
you have
Links is free.
access. Yeah. And you have access to every starter deck. But to unlock cards from a set, you have to pay like $3. And then you have that set unlocked.
Pass.
No, you don't want that. That's scummy.
Yeah.
It's
pass.
almost like a subscription service to an MMO. That's the way I would look at it.
I'm already paying for the physical cards. I don't want to pay again for the non-physical
same
cards.
That's why I was thinking
But
of
digitally.
something like a QR code inside your pack. The QR code could be scanned, and it would allow you to redeem points, and those points could be built up to where you could unlock the box or the case, the set, naturally. Like, oh, you opened up 5 packs of BT14? Cool. In the online client, you now have access to all of BT14.
Do you know what that's called? You know what that's called?
Loot box.
A smart idea.
Loot box and a gotcha system, Brandon.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I'm not saying
I bought this QR. I bought this Digimon pack with this QR code. I'm gonna go put that in the system. Oh, I didn't pull the cards I needed. Let me go buy another one. Oh, didn't pull them again. Let me go buy. Oh, okay. So you want them to put in so much effort into packing these packs that whatever QR code you have in that singular pack is all the cards in that pack. Do you know how difficult that would be?
I don't think you understand what I said.
I think he's saying it's like a currency that you use to gain access to cards.
Points. You're getting points. And then you spend that points.
You can buy singles effectively.
Yeah. No, well, not even singles, but like imagine, right? Now actually listen.
Sounds like Duel Links.
I don't know if I'm pointing at you.
It sounds similar.
So imagine
Duel Links is AIDS though. You have to like open up like cases of certain sets.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Packs on packs.
Like
so,
you cannot buy singles in that game. It's stupid.
No.
What I'm saying is, if you want to just buy the set in the client, it would be like $3.
No, I get what you're saying now.
Like
I understand.
But if you buy physical cards, like you buy a box, you would get a QR code inside. It could even be a box topper. I don't know. But inside the pack, inside the box, something like that, where you scan it, or if you scan enough of them, you just get access to the entire set. Your bonus for buying physical media is getting access to all of the digital media.
So how do you buy multiple copies of cards?
You just get them. You have 4. Boom.
Like
you're
once
good.
you have access to that card, you have access to 4 of them.
Yes. It's that simple.
I think
So
I'd
they
like
make
it.
less money.
I think I'd like it better if they just ran ads and called it a day.
Yeah,
Because,
that
like,
would
hear
just
me
be
out.
easier.
Like
You could
it's such
even
a
do
slippery
campaigns.
slope having microtransactions.
But like you can even do a campaign or several campaigns where your QR code.
Do you work for Bandai or like
EA? EA is my day job. So you could even
Clearly.
run campaigns where like your box could have a QR code that'll unlock you a special alt art NFT of your card.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much.
That would make me
You
not
could have
want to get on the app.
Brandon,
you
I
have
feel
a
like Brandon's
gold-
about to ask me to invest in crypto.
Yeah, Brandon is literally this. He's pitching this at Bandai's headquarters. He's like, "Listen here,
You could
we're gonna
sell
make so much
Oh
money."
my God.
like, hey,
Oh my
take
God.
this character with big booba and make alt art sell to simps.
I feel like if you took that exact quote, it was probably said at Bandai's HQ at one point or the other.
Yeah. Take this Greymon card, give it an online exclusive alt art, and sell it to Sean's.
I wouldn't want online. I would want the alt arts that I'm used to seeing. Like, I want the arts that I'm used to playing with. That's the issue I have with the sim not having alt arts.
See,
did you guys
I
know that
could
the sim has
monetize-
alt arts now?
Yes, we talked about this last time. The only thing they don't have in my Garu deck is the Omni X alt art. It's still not there.
They even have pre-release stamps. Like, they went so above and beyond.
Yeah, they went hard on it.
Yeah.
But like, hear me out. I can monetize this even harder. I can make this even worse.
Yeah,
Alright?
it's very easy. You just pump in as many microtransactions as you can fit.
Yep.
And then
You
put
can
in
even
more.
give like special effects and animations
Yep,
for when
mats,
you into specific card.
avatars. Yep, mats and avatars. Yeah,
Like imagine you could pay $5 when you Evo into Raid War Greymon. He comes out with this cool animation, and it's like the texture of having a real card, but in the sim.
So those kind of microtransactions, I'd actually be okay with because it would not
cosmetic only.
Yeah, it's like
cosmetic.
Fortnite. Like, it's not pay to win. It's just purely cosmetic and a flex on people. But someone could just be like, I have my default skin, my default sleeves, and I'm just going to play this deck and beat you. Yeah. I would be okay with that because they would definitely still make a ton of money off that because there's no overhead. And obviously there's going to be a bunch of people that want to flex on people for no reason.
Yep.
And I think that would be a good, like, they could do that and also have ads, like banner ads and stuff. They could make so much money off the client without
That's what I'm saying.
ever introducing like a pay to win system.
And I don't think it would affect the physical card game. If you made it to where they were linked,
it would 100% increase the physical
if you made
sales.
it to somehow they were linked together, I think that's money left on the table. You're just leaving it there.
Yeah, I think the QR code thing is a good like start.
Yeah, I think just make it like a box topper. Like, oh, you bought the box? All right, cool. You now have access to this set on the client. It would incentivize people to buy boxes.
Yeah, it would. Because, like, the people that buy singles only, like in the physical card game, they would obviously...
They're going to get punished.
Yeah.
Because then, like, you would probably have to put a cap on it. Like, it would have to be, like, 2 months or something like that early access.
You're killing the market. You're killing the card game market doing that.
Yeah, but Bandai doesn't care about that. They don't care about what's being sold on TCG Player. They want you to buy it from them.
They actually are aware of the secondary market, and they've done a lot of things to knock down prices of cards. Like Pulsemon, they reprinted into the ground because it was like a $60 card at one point.
Yeah, I actually saw a Reddit post just the other day, and I saved it to my phone. It's the most expensive cards printed in our game, not counting alt arts. And on that list, I think it's the top 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
They're all secret rares.
Yes. Oh, it's the top 15, and not all of them are secret rares. There's a few in here that shouldn't be on here, purely because of scarcity. But most of them are secret rares. The cheapest card, non-alt art, the top 15, number 15, we'll say that, is Quartzmon at 12. Then you have
Isn't Quartzmon like $12?
Huh?
Isn't Quartzmon like $12?
Yeah. This is of course like in a ascending order. They'll get more expensive from here.
I'm saying like people that complain about the prices of the card game. Clearly, this is their first card game because, like, the fact that that's the 15th most expensive card.
Okay, rich man who has money. Okay, why don't you go to LA? Stop being
why don't you go to Nats?
Like people are like you can build a meta deck for like legitimately
$50.
like less than $50.
Yeah.
Show me a card game other than this one where you can do that. That's like competing with like the top 3.
We actually had a brand new person show up at locals this week and was asking us about like the barrier to entry for this game. And we were telling him like, yeah, this game is really cheap. It's really easy to get into. Like $50 buying singles, you'll have a meta competitive deck.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Brandon.
And that's assuming you don't have a player base that'll just give you bulk to fill out the deck.
That too. Mel was trying to hype up Bloom. And then was bragging about, I'm washing everybody at the tournament. Immediately after that is when he went 0-2 for the rest of the night. So
Brandon suggested that I said, "Hey, max rarity Royal Knights, invest in it.
Invest.
Super cheap deck.
You don't lose to Solarmon, I promise."
Yeah, this little gear boy does nothing to you. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so like the rest of the cards on this list, honestly, some of them are kind of surprising. But some of them...
Can you read them off? I'm actually really curious.
I can send it. I'll just send it. I'll send you the list.
Read it off for the pod, for the content.
No, we're going to go through it together, but I'm going to send you guys the photo. Chris, you're probably going to be the one who can't see it because you're on your laptop. Or you're not on your laptop, I should say. But number 14 is Metal Greymon Altarius mode, the promo.
Oh, yeah, that's still like a $10 card.
Yeah, he's 12 on this list. Magna X, he's 13, apparently.
From BT9?
Diaboromon, I think so.
Okay, I guess that's the hype.
It's the only X antibody we have, right?
Yeah, that's the hype from that new one.
Yeah, probably.
That card was like less than $5. A few months ago.
A few weeks ago. Diaboromon Ace, he's 13 because again, scarcity. He's a promo.
Yep. One of box topper. So I hate it when they do that.
Yeah, for real.
Let's go.
Beelstar, 14.
Secret.
That's because of boobas.
Well,
big booba.
It's because it's a deck that's probably never gonna die, and it's a secret rare.
Also, the Garu engine also hyped it up again.
Yeah, it seemed like it's gonna be pretty strong with the Garu engine for EX5.
Yeah, easy. Yeah. Next is secret rare Omnimon from BT13.
Okay.
Which, he's a secret, so yeah, it makes sense.
He's a 4 of in that deck if you intend on competing.
Yep. Secret rare Angemon is next at 17.
From BT14?
Yep, this most recent set.
Makes sense.
A card that is common, looks fake, and has no business being this expensive.
Rusty?
Shadramon. $18.
Yes, go!
That's hype for... I don't know why people think that deck's going to magically be good with the support it's getting.
I see Facebook posts about it every other day. People talking about Perperial's coming back, boys. It's like,
dude, I wish it were good. I truly wish it were a good deck, but it is not, and probably never will be, unfortunately.
It needs a lot of stuff.
Hey, smoke that coke, Sean. Come on.
I can't do the 2 people that have tried to play that deck at locals both went XO or no OX.
XO sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I misspoke because I remember I brought it like a month ago. It's probably like almost 2 months ago at this point, and the only win I had was a buy. I had one buy, and then Mel scooped me because Mel was still mad about losing the round prior. And then Ben brought it like 2 weeks ago and went like 0-2 drop. So yeah. The deck's broken.
Was that the week? Was that the week I wasn't there?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
After all that trash talk about how he said he could make the deck good, and then he comes out there and fumbles.
I tried to talk him out of dropping and leaving, but he was like, "Nah, I'm done."
Nah, I'm done. So next, speaking on that same train, $20 Perperial Fighter Mode.
Yep. It's a secret rare. It's a secret rare.
Yeah, he's a secret. So next we have Lucemon Chaos Mode, $21.
Secret rare.
Yeah.
Secret rare. Yep. All right, the top 5.
Are they all secret rares?
They are all secret rares.
Yep.
So Chris, Sean, have you already looked at the list?
No.
Okay.
I'm enjoying the
Would
journey.
you like to guess what number 5 is?
What's set?
Gives it away.
Give me a range of set or color. Give me a color.
It is red. It is $26 and it is red. Secret rare. They're all secret rares from here on.
Gallantmon.
It's a good guess.
Nah, Gallantmon's more expensive than that, isn't he?
Close.
Crimson
Close.
Mode.
Crimson Mode.
Yes.
Followed by $33.
Gallantmon.
Gallantmon from the
BT13.
Royal Knight deck.
Yeah.
Now the top 3 are actually super obvious. You should be able to guess these really easily.
Omnimons.
We've already known.
Ruin Mode, Death X, and
Come on, you got the top 2. What's number 3?
What?
What secret rare is absurdly expensive for no good reason? Okay, there is a reason, but come on, you've played the deck.
Oh man, I've played the deck.
So Ruin Mode, while he's thinking about it, Ruin Mode is 62, Death X is 60. This card is 40.
What color is it?
I can't tell you. It's going to give it away.
I've played the. How recently have I played the deck? Oh no, that's not it.
I think you just played it. Not super recently, but it was like because you bragged about getting all of them alt art. You alt arted the whole thing because me and you we play.
It's not altered. It's not altered B. It can't be
No, definitely
B.
not. Card's like $15 if
yeah,
that.
I was like, there's no way it's that
art.
expensive. $40.
It's $40. Come on.
Give me a hint.
You're gonna hate yourself for
Give
this.
me what level is it?
That's the hint. If I tell you, it gives it away.
The face you just made is the hint.
I can't tell you the level of the card.
Is it a level 6?
No.
Is it a level 7?
No.
Okay, so what secret?
It's not Lucemon, is it?
No, it's not
No,
Lucemon.
it's definitely not
Lucemon's not a...
Come on, how are you blanking on this card?
Give me the color, Brandon.
It's blue.
Blue?
It's blue.
A blue secret rare. I'm trying to like go through.
I'm blanked. I blanked.
What
Oh my
blue
God.
secret rares have we? Is it a Digimon?
It is not.
Oh, it's
Rena. Oh
It's
my god!
Rena.
Of course,
It's
That's because
Rena.
we were thinking of Digimon.
Digimon.
Of course, yes.
That's also because of Boobas, and you freak, she's a child!
She's like 12. Stop it.
Yeah, that's all. That's it. So, Death X is the exception, but the other two secret rares that are top 3 are cards you basically need 4 of to play correctly. Rena for sure,
I think
and Ruin Mode, in my opinion, yes as well.
Yeah, Ruin Mode and All Force are like the only 2 decks that have a true pay ceiling to get in.
Yeah.
Royal Knights is pretty close too, but 14 for Omni's not that bad.
Yeah, but then you also need like 2+ of those Gallantmons as well. But most of the deck is actually rares and stuff like that. Like it's actually pretty budget friendly if you have like I would say like $100-ish.
Yeah, but with those alt arts, you gotta have them.
Yeah,
I mean,
you gotta have them all squatted up, looking golden crisp.
It is a very beautiful deck maxed out, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to max that deck out because of how badly it loses to like just random floodgate rookies.
To just one gear.
Yeah, one geary boy.
One pillow.
Who would win? $1,000 Digimon deck or one geary boy?
Man, I'm surprised it took you that long to get Rena. Because like I
haven't seen that card in so long.
It was because if I said, "Oh, it's a tamer," you just go, "Oh, it's Rena."
It still would have taken me a moment, but yeah, I would have gotten there.
Yeah.
I was stuck on Digimon because when you said blue, I was like, bruh, what blue secret rares have we even had? Have we even had blue secret? Like the Garu from BT5, no BT4.
Oh, we're talking that far back. The ancient Garu.
Yeah, the ancient from BT4. That's like the only blue secret that I could think of. That's a Digimon.
I'm honestly about to look this up. What is the last blue secret rare we had?
Rena.
Blue. It's Rena. Digimon.
I bet you it's BT4 Ancient Garu.
Yeah, it's Ancient Garu.
It's quite literally the Vidramon, Ancient Garu, Rena, and then Metal Garu. That's
the one that we haven't gotten yet.
Yeah, the one we haven't gotten yet. Yeah, so we don't get very many blue secret rares. Feels bad.
Don't deserve them.
Ah, my heart.
We had one comment question.
Yes.
If I can spell. If you guys would like your comments answered in next week's podcast, put them in the comments. That's how that works.
Unless you're glizzy. Unless you're glizzy
Unless you're girthy glizzy. Let me pull that question back up.
More passion, more energy, more passion, more energy.
More footwork.
Yeah, turn yourself down, all right? You shut up. You're not allowed to speak anymore.
So this is from Fired Him or M. It's IHM. They are a new player, and they are curious if you decide before or after you see your hand whether or not you're going first or second. This is before.
It's a hard rule.
Yeah, this is before. This is the rule in the game.
That a rule?
Huh?
Yeah. Isn't that a rule?
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's what they were asking. Like, yeah, you cannot if you're the person deciding who goes first or second, you cannot do it after you see your hand. You have to do it before.
Yep.
God, I wish you could. God, I wish
it would make things a lot easier because.
Oh, hold on, buddy. Let me mulligan real quick and see if my hand's better. Then I'll tell you.
Oh God.
Yeah. So yes, it is illegal to look at your hand before you decide whether you go first or second. Hopefully that is helpful.
Yes.
It's also illegal to take back every other play.
Huh.
Really?
Isn't that right?
Yeah, man,
Isn't that right? Yeah. Isn't that right, Brandon?
Yeah, I had no idea, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, we know. We know you don't have any idea how illegal that is.
All right.
The king of takesy-backsies.
I do it like once or twice, and usually not even in the tournament. Like
I gotta be honest,
that thing.
Brian, you gotta drop Luga. That deck is too much for you.
No, listen, we got 1 week until EX5.
Bro, you still don't know how to play that deck.
Nope.
It's not
you
even
still fumbling the bag. You've had that deck for an entire format.
Yeah, and guess what? I hardly play it. I played Red Hybrid for like 2 weeks.
What? No, that's not an excuse.
I played Alteress.
So?
You fumbled that deck too.
Yeah, true. You should have won.
I honestly felt worse about fumbling that one than fumbling Luga.
You should. Alteress is a pretty simple deck to play.
Yeah. Chris, you act like you had no fumbles. How would you like me to clear your board? Yeah, we'll never forget that.
Well, that was like years ago.
And you know what? The fact we're still talking about it.
It's a great moment. That's what I provide. I provide great moments, you know?
See, for me, that's analog.
BT4.
That's the analog moment.
Yep.
Sean's moment is just swinging while Ice Wall just sits there, and he's just like, what's an Ice Wall? Ruining his whole turn.
A couple different times. I've been ice walled and swung and forgot it was active. I've swung and
your opponent
I needed to ice wall before I swung in case I died. You know,
I've
something like that.
sometimes I still lay right before I go to bed. I think about that time I had Wargreymon on the board, Wargreymon X Antibody, and Sean activated Blinding Ray. The pass turn.
It didn't pass turn. I still gained a memory off of it. Like I net gained one memory, but I needed 2 memory to do something.
It was just me. It was me picking up X Antibody. I'm like, let me make sure this is all turns.
As soon as I activated it, and then you picked up your Wargreymon X, I remembered too, and I was like, oh, I lose. Cool. I needed that second memory to do something, or I just lose. We had both forgotten about it though, because if you hadn't reached for your Wargreymon X, I also forgot that it was.
I had to make sure. I had to make sure it said all turns.
As soon as you reached for it, I remembered. I had just forgotten about it, like having an effect period, because I was so focused on what I could do.
Yeah, just got your blinders on, ready to go.
Well, it was just like I was trying to figure out a way to not lose, and I'd finally figured it out, and it required a blinding ray for 2 memory, and then I just
only got 1.
Yeah.
This is what me and Brian were talking about earlier, Sean. We need a card, in Marvel Snap, it's called Viper, where we send a card from our board to our opponent's board, right? So we need this in Digimon, so we can play Mirage, and then we just send the Palmon over to our opponent's side of the board. And then that's how we beat them.
Yeah, that's the secret. Just creature swap a Palmon over to your opponent's field.
Exactly.
Well, Mirage, yeah.
We're gonna have to play a Leviamon, Palmon, Mirage deck where we're gonna send the Pal. It's gonna be very complicated. We gotta send the Palmon over with the Mirage on the board. It is. But think about it. If they're not playing a green deck, how are they gonna get rid of that Digimon? They're gonna have to try and attack with it. But if we've already got the Mirage established,
you're playing blue. You can just sit there and stun it.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be a complicated deck.
That is we're gonna. By the way, was Mel playing that Palmon?
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Oh man,
there's no changes to that deck.
I would not play that Palmon in that deck. I don't even see how he has the room anymore. Because you have like 4 of the Blastace Palmons, 4 of the BT10 Palmons, 4 Lalamons.
So what you're telling me is we all just need to have Mirage in our deck going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just let Mel get a couple of those set up and draw a billion cards and then just pop it on the field and be like, extend handshake.
GG's. Oh, do we have any more unhinged food topics to discuss? I know last week we were about to start talking about pizza, but then we went back to breakfast.
I'm down.
Best pizza topping.
Okay, but like it's not just the topping that makes a pizza. The whole pizza makes the pizza.
Yeah, I have my opinion of the best pizza. I mean, it's not the best pizza in the world, but it's the best like easy access pizza that I can get consistently.
Let's hear it.
Hungry Howie's, large stuffed crust with pepperoni, 3 cheese blend, and the honey drizzle, and
he's ordered this thing a lot,
and Cajun ranch crust.
Golly,
I'm gonna be honest. I hate Hungry Howie's.
Good for you.
More for me. You know, the only time you'll see me enter like a Little Caesars is when they have that pretzel pizza going on.
Dude, they have it right now. You can get stuffed crust pretzel pizza. I actually just had one of those like a week or 2 ago.
I'm on vacation starting Tuesday. Guarantee Tuesday night I'm having that pizza.
You should look into it because it did say limited time, so I don't know like how limited the time is, but they definitely had it like a week or 2 ago.
Also, our local one was having a remodel, so they might not be open right now. You might have to go to the town over.
So
I went to the one here.
Oh, it's back?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Never mind.
So
the one all the way over next to Frick's, yeah, that one is still being remodeled.
Oh, okay.
My bad. I forget that you guys don't technically live in the same city.
Yeah.
We used to be huge fans of Pizza Hut, but they have just crossed us one too many times.
Yep.
There was one time I was playtesting with Sean, and I had a pizza. They delivered my pizza. Now I didn't blame Pizza Hut for this, but I also kind of did because I wondered how it got into the shape that it was. Do you remember this, Sean? When I was telling you about this pizza and how
sent us a picture of it.
It was absolutely wrecked inside the box. I'm talking. It's like even if the driver had to violently shake this pizza or do something,
I think they just held it like a briefcase or like
sideways.
I don't know. The pizza was. I was like, okay, I can't. Okay, so Brandon's convinced me we're now Domino's household, and I'm not gonna lie. No, hold on, Sean.
Bro, sandpaper crust? No, thank you.
No. Hold on.
You gotta get different crust. Don't get
no.
crust.
Yeah,
standard Domino's crust.
Yeah,
Sean,
you gotta get either thin crust or you gotta get the deep
Domino's
dish.
tears my stomach up. I don't know what they put in their stuff.
I only ever order Domino's on a certain night because I know that there's this guy up there. He's never done me wrong. There's this one employee, this one guy. Dude. Every time I've ordered from there, my pizza has been perfect. I always get the jalapeno bacon stuffed cheesy bread.
Oh,
and this guy, I just know he's in there by himself making my food, and he's not gonna mess it up. He is the GOAT over there at Domino's. This Domino's right over there by that KFC. There's just one guy in there, and I'm like, I love this guy.
Every time we go there, he's there. It's the best time ever.
Is there still a KFC over there?
Yeah, it's the same KFC that you went and got your fries from, right? Right there by Target.
There's a Domino's near here?
Yeah, it's in that little strip. There's also an ice cream shop that's right next to it.
Oh, yeah, there is. Oh, my God, there's a Domino's right next to my house. I forgot.
Yes.
Because they suck. Their pizza's terrible.
No, Sean, I'm telling you. Friday night, order one, pick it up on the way home. It's going to be that one guy, and you'll know exactly what we're talking about because you're going to go inside and you're going to pick it up. By himself. And you know what? Every time I'm talking like, I've only done it like maybe 4 times within like the past half year. Every single time I've gone it, I walk in there, pick it up from that guy, and it's perfect every time.
Are they still open when we get done with locals?
They're open till like 1 a.m. Every day.
I just happened to be super hungry for pizza one night while Brandon was driving home from locals, so I decided to order pizza.
So he made me drop by the pizza place. We live in the same house,
it's literally right off the road. It's not like you took like a huge detour.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay, but the disrespectful part
massive
was
inconvenience.
He ordered pizza, made me pick it up, and guess who didn't get any pizza?
Did you have to get out and get the pizza yourself, Brandon?
No, he got out of the car and grabbed it. But I'm just saying, like,
then I mean, I wouldn't expect pizza. I mean, I would probably expect a slice, but
yeah, he doesn't like what I put on my pizza. Now listen, at this point,
pizza customizer. He makes a.
At this point, me and this guy that I go in there in Domino's, we're like best friends. We don't know each other, but he knows every time I come, I give him the little net hot. Yep. He said, "Picking up your pizza?" I said, "Yep, I'm here for my pizza."
Dude, that reminds me, the Little Caesars that near my house, they have a thing for to-go orders where you put like your little pin in the machine and it lifts the door of the cubbyhole that your pizzas are at. Yeah, I got to use that.
That's pretty cool.
It was like, your pin is this, and it's just like a stack of a whole bunch of pizzas, and you just like press it and it opens the door of the ones that you're supposed to have access to.
Yeah. So you're telling me, Sean, I need to try Hungry Howie's pizza. I need to go back, give it another shot.
Yes.
Every time I've had it, it's been mid.
Large stuffed crust. Their stuffed crust is my favorite because it's borderline thin crust, but it's not like crunchy.
What are we looking for price?
I don't know. I mean, it's not the cheapest in the world, but if you use their coupons that they have on their website,
that's what you go for, the coupons.
Yeah, you always have. Dude, you will get ripped off if you don't utilize their coupons. Like that's how they get you.
Our Domino's has a local coupon where you get 2 medium pizzas a 2-liter, and an order of bread bites, and it's $20.
I also don't do delivery anymore. I'm tired of these companies that have decided there's going to be a delivery fee and to tip the driver, because the driver doesn't get any of that tip. I'm going to just go pick up myself.
The driver gets the tip?
The tip, and
they don't get the delivery fee.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I'm not going to pay you twice because I'm not going to not tip.
Yeah.
What am I, some kind of scumbag? No.
Yeah, most pizza delivery places, like Domino's still uses their own drivers, but I've noticed a lot of places recently are just using like Uber Eats or DoorDash. Because I remember we ordered from Papa John's, I think, which I'm not a huge fan of Papa John's, but my wife is.
Yeah,
and we ordered Papa John's. This was like a couple months ago at this point.
Not after what Papa said.
I mean, he's no longer affiliated with the company, but...
Wow. He got better, and then he did it again.
No, they sent him on his way after the first time, I'm pretty sure. But I ordered Papa John's for delivery, and looking at like the little mini map it was showing me, I was like, this looks like it's like super far away, but like most places don't deliver like outside of a certain radius. Turns out they didn't care because they were using like a DoorDash drivers. They were like, we don't care. It was like,
who cares?
It was like 35 minutes from the house, maybe like ish, is where it was being delivered from. Yeah, if they had been like using their own drivers, they absolutely wouldn't have done that because their driver would have been gone for like over an hour.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Which, it's funny that you brought that up because my horror story with Pizza Hut was me, our roommate Josh, we were watching a wrestling pay-per-view.
Okay.
So we ordered some pizza to have delivered to us. And now I'm sitting in the couch. The couch is 2 feet from our front door.
Sitting in the couch?
In it. Yeah, I'm in it.
Inside the couch.
Inside.
So I'm sitting in the couch. I'm not correcting it. And the front door is 2 feet away from me. Now I have
it's very close. It's very close to the couch. It is like he said, a couple feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's not far. So I have a delivery estimate time, which is like, let's say like 9:10 is when it's supposed to show up.
Okay.
So like 9:10 rolls around. I'm not hearing nothing. All right, cool. Let me check the app, make sure I got my notifications. No notifications. Nothing's been sent yet. I have it clicked. It's enabled, so I'm going to get the notification when it gets delivered. So, I'm waiting. It's like 9:20, and I'm like, no, it's like 9:15. 9:15, 9:20, somewhere in that time frame. And I'm like, man, they still aren't here? So I look at it, still no notification. It still says in progress. And I'm like, this is wild. All right, whatever. So I get up, I open the door. Tell me my food isn't sitting in front of my front door on the bare ground, just getting cold. Who knows how long it's been there? No notification. They didn't even knock. Like nothing. They just set my food down, went on their merry way, and just told me to pound sand, I guess.
Yeah, get destroyed.
So I literally...
Get destroyed.
Yeah, I literally had like lukewarm, borderline cold pizza.
No, it gets worse.
And on top of that, my pizza was made wrong.
Okay, so...
Who made this pizza again?
This was Pizza Hut.
Okay, yeah. I've had bad experiences with the Pizza Hut over there as well.
But they sent a DoorDash person to deliver it. So that DoorDash person was a dick.
So
because I'd already given the tip. I'd already given the tip through the app. So they got their tip and they ditched.
Brandon has very bad luck when it comes to ordering at fast food places because he has the most ridiculous orders. It is either completely plain or he is going to make the weirdest sandwich in the entire earth. Sean, I'm not joking. Brandon, do you know how difficult it is to make the burger plain or the chicken sandwich plain? It's incredibly difficult.
Actively less steps than what you need.
No, it's so difficult.
When it's hardwired into your brain to make it the normal way.
Brandon, how do you order your Ossia or your chicken sandwiches from Wendy's?
No tomato, no lettuce.
And
That's it.
you add
The Asiago comes with ranch already, and you got cheese and bacon on it, so it's no tomato, no lettuce.
Brad, what was your Wendy's breakfast order the other day?
I got the classic sandwich. Add the Swiss cheese sauce.
So many. So see, you gotta ring that up. You gotta say minus this, add cheese sauce. You know, so it's.
Yeah, you're asking for too much, Brandon.
He is. He does. He asks for too much, and it's just a problem. You know, it's
white cheese sauce.
You're confusing them, Brandon.
Just being selfish.
Listen, that's why I like the pizza chains, because the pizza chains, you can make the most bizarre pizza ever, and it's still going to be great.
Unless you order it from Pizza Hut, apparently.
Yeah, don't get Pizza Hut. Like Domino's,
no more Pizza Hut.
When I go to Domino's, I get their white pizza. I get the Alfredo sauce, because that stuff is actually pretty good. I get the pan pizza
You get their sandpaper crust?
No. See, the regular crust
their complimentary sandpaper on your tongue?
No, you gotta get the special crusts. Like thin crust for them is actually really good too.
That's their sandpaper crust.
No, the regular crust is sandpaper one where it has all that stuff on the bottom.
Yeah, that's their thin crust. Do they have a thinner crust than that?
No, they have 3. They have normal crust, they have thin crust, and then they have the pan pizza, the deep dish. Basically.
Domino's sucks. I don't like Domino's.
Listen, I won't have you talking about my new best friend like that from Domino's, okay?
Yeah. Hey, I'm sure he's a great guy. I don't like the pizzas that come out of his establishment.
How dare you? Wow. He cooks those pizzas, and he cooks them well.
He probably cooks them with love, but I don't like sandpaper on my pizza. It's just, you know.
I'm getting tired of this harassment.
Yeah, that's why I stopped eating Domino's, because I got tired of the sandpaper on my tongue.
In this podcast, I'm ready to go to bed.
Are you one of those people who says, I don't like eating Captain Crunch because it cuts up the roof of my mouth?
No, because I'm not a moron and I chew my food correctly. I don't utilize the roof of my mouth to chew my food.
He takes his tongue and he's like,
that only happens if you just like completely fill your mouth with Captain Crunch and just try to power through it. If you just take regular bites, it doesn't happen.
I'm trying to get to the sugar milk, okay? Shut up.
Just get Oops All Berries. It's a little more gentle on your palate.
In this podcast, I'm going to bed.
Well,
it is 1 minute. It's already getting pretty late for Chris. Got him.
Right.
Pivoted.
All right, boys.
That
was fun.
It was lots of fun. I can't wait to go eat breakfast now.
Just get some Socios. Oh wait.
Shut up.
Bastards always closed on a Monday. All right, bye.
Deuces.
Boy.